Choose a destination. Choose New York. Choose Paris. Choose London. Choose brunch. Choose yoga. Choose amusement parks, water parks, national parks. Get the kids, pack your bags, pack the car, buy your tickets, wait in line. But why do I want to do a thing like that? I chose not to choose a destination. I chose something else. And the reasons? There are no reasons. Who needs reasons when you've got whiskey? Aquavite, Iskapa, the water of life, or as you know it, Scotch whiskey. What is it about this drink that commands such devotion by some, while others associate it with a bad night in college, the precursor to an evening, and an early morning of bad decisions? To better understand, I took my novice palate and scarce knowledge to the Dornock Castle Hotel in the Scottish Highlands to sign up for their whiskey tasting so that I might learn the differences from a smoky Islay and a sweet Speyside, or indeed, what they are in the first place. But first, I wanted to understand just how important whiskey really is to Scottish culture.
Oh, it's massive. It's beautifully linked into Scottish culture. A lot of the distillery companies play on the cultural thing as a bit of a kind of in the marketing, but at the same time it is like, you know, it's so much part of the culture. We just accept it, it's there.
You ask anyone who comes to the castle and you say, what are you here for? And the answer here will be either golf or whiskey. Commercially, it's massive, billions of pounds to the economy, hundreds of jobs, both in distilleries, hotels, bars. Scotland wouldn't be what it is without, obviously, your whiskey.
It's absolutely vital, and if everywhere you go in the world, first of all, you'll meet a Scotsman, and secondly, you will find a bottle of malt in a bar somewhere.
At Dornock Castle, you'll find more than just a bottle of malt in the bar. You'll find over 400 bottles of spirit with rare antiques that would go for double the price per dram in New York or London. Along with his brother Simon, Phil amassed this collection over 18 years working at the hotel, and it's inspired them to open up their own crowd-funded distillery right on the hotel's property in the former village firehouse.
Yeah, we had owned it. It was just junk storage, you know. It was just junk storage. So the question was then, you know, how do we build it out? How do we do it? We raised all the capital by essentially offering future goods and services in the form of casks. Me and my brother, we grew up in hospitality. So before, you know, in between university and so on, we were working in family hotel. So we were running, essentially when we were probably too young to be running a whiskey bar, we were running a whiskey bar. At that time we had a kind of a small selection on the back bar. Macallan 25, Macallan 18 were two of the memorable ones, and I just remember tasting these and being like, oh right, you know, noticing there's a difference between the stuff that I've snuck out of a drinks cabinet and what was on the back bar, like a Macallan 25. You know, it's like there is a massive difference in style, but not understanding it at all, but accepting that there's a difference. I think that's the key, is seeing that there's a difference in the styles.
So what are the styles? Scotland has 5 officially recognized whiskey regions. There's Islay, Speyside, Highlands, Campbelltown, and Lowland, all producing a spirit that ranges from peaty, meaning a smoky flavor and aroma, to something sweeter you might find in Speyside. But Phil doesn't want to pigeonhole themselves into a specific style.
For us, we want to make something that's very fruit-driven, something that's got a waxy, oily character, and that's what we're looking for. Mouthfeel, texture, something that's going to stand up to long-term maturation, but really fruity character, that's what we're looking for, tropical fruits especially.
Scots law says whiskey cannot be called whiskey until it's matured for 3 years and 1 day. This stuff has another 18 months or so to go, but damn if it isn't tasty. Now for the moment I've been waiting for, drinking whiskey. A proper whiskey tasting will last about an hour. Since we don't have that kind of time, we've narrowed it down to the basics with help from Dornock Castle General Manager Matt Logie and Bar Manager Andy Chu.
Tasting whiskey, stage 1, preparation. For this you'll need a glass, some water, optional, and of course whiskey. You've got your Islay Peaties, Sweet Speyside and Highland. Pick your whiskey, pour yourself a dram, give it a nose. Add a couple drops of water as you like. That's going to open the whiskey up. And now you're ready, drink up.
The Dornock Castle and its whiskey bar aren't some rare discovery. They're frequently rated one of the best whiskey bars in the world by whiskey drinkers, turning it into something of a pilgrimage site, A place to come on a cold winter's day, warm up by the fire, and have a conversation.
For me personally, I don't want to drink whiskey alone. I want to drink it with someone and have the conversation.
As whiskey writer Dave Broom has put it, whiskey is about loosening tongues and bringing people together, no matter who you are.
It's no longer kind of, something for old men to drink. People are very open, young people, young guys, young girls, whatever.
Because with tasting whiskey, we're not just tasting on your own. You want to share, you want to have fun as well. Same as me, I want to drink whiskey with you. I don't want to just take a benefit for drinking whiskey by myself. Otherwise, it's called getting drunk.